Hello, my brothers and sisters in time. My name is George Alexander. I am the founder, CEO, and chief watch designer of Maison, also known as the Black Horologist. Welcome back to the channel. Been gone for a couple weeks. A lot has happened. A lot and not enough at the same time. And dealing with a lot of personal difficulties. I hope y'all can hear me. I got the AC on. It's a little hot. But yeah, dealing with some personal difficulties, some tragedy, some real heavy stuff. So I apologize for my absence. Honestly, not out of it. It's honestly still going on right now, and I don't know how it's going to end. But that being said, y'all deserve something from me, right? So I want to devote today as kind of a primer on what's going to be my next video, which is going to be breaking down my favorites and my predictions for GPHG, or the Grand Prix d'Horologerie Génève, or the Grand Prix of Horology in Geneva, which is essentially the Oscars of watchmaking. Again, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to muscle through this here. So GPHG, like I mentioned, is the Oscars of watchmaking, right? It is the great award show of our fair industry, where you see some of the heavyweights in watchmaking, big brands and more independent brands, ones that you may not have heard of, ones that you may love. And you'll see them be honored over, I believe there's 20 categories this year. Now, fun story about GPHG. The first time that I was aware of GPHG was in 2018. So that's about a year before we decided to launch Maison, a year before we decided to really kind of pursue this as an idea, right? And I saw a watch, and it was the winner at GPHG. It was the winner of La Gaille d'Or. If I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, my French brothers and sisters, I apologize. But that is the top prize at GPHG, right? So it's basically like the watch of the year, the best watch of the year. And in 2018, it went to Beauvais with the Recital 22, the Recital 22, the Grand Recital. And it was such a really cool piece. It's like white gold on the case, I believe. Had a magnesium orrery. It had, functional, rotating earth, and able to keep accurate time until the year 2400. Just an absolutely ridiculous watch. Super complicated, and expensive, right? It was, I didn't know that watches got up like that, right? It was, I want to say, 430 Swiss francs. It was $750,000. It's expensive, very expensive, very limited run. And I hadn't even heard of Beauvais at that point. I was definitely a novice when it came to watches. I think I was maybe a year and a half, maybe a year and some change in at Jared. Maybe about a year and a half, because I started in May of 2017. GPHG is in November. I think it's November 3rd this year, something like that. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And you can live stream it. I mean, it's such a cool time, and obviously it's during work hours, but if you can manage it and you can swing it, make sure you get your work done. But GPHG is cool. I'd love to get to go there. Hint, hint. But yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful event. You're gonna see some names from some watch companies that you may not recognize, or that you may recognize from the jewelry or from other parts of fashion. But some of my favorites have come from, obviously, Beauvais. They've been in business since 1822. They're an ultra luxury watch. They're such beautiful timepieces. I believe they just released, what was it, the Recital 12, the Recital 12, which is more for everyday wear, which for a brand of that caliber is rare, right? You don't necessarily see that every day. But you'll see like Audemars Piguet, you'll see Piaget, especially with that Altiplano, which is beautiful. But I think the is it the Polo? No. We'll get into it next week when we start talking about the nominees, right? Piaget's up for, I think, 4 awards this year that they're nominated for. You'll see, and then, I mean, Audemars and Piaget have been trading off the thinnest watch in the world award, and I think they've gotten to about the thickness of a credit card or something like that. Just the way that they've reimagined watches and movements is mind-blowing. You're going to see a lot from Van Cleef and Arpels. I love their timepieces. They're so imaginative. They're so artistic. Bulgari, in case you were wondering how to pronounce that, Bulgari. They always have some bangers. Siga Design, they had the one that had the globe on it. I still want that watch. It's absolutely incredible, and it's not super expensive either. I think it's like $1,000. Yeah, I want that watch. Siga Design, if you are watching this, hook a brother up. I would absolutely love one. You would be a super bright spot right now. Obviously, you'll see Tag, you'll see Hublot. You'll see Patek, I believe, if they choose to allow the nomination. Breitling is almost always there. Sorry. Oris, and they deserve it. Oris. Fun thing about Oris, they had this one watch that is absolutely fire. It's made of fully upcycled materials. So I mean, you talk about being green and sustainability. Oris is changing the game right now. So shout out to Oris. And again, you'll meet some brands through this that you never knew existed. Constantin Shakin, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Voutilanen, Grubel Forzi. Man, like the sheer amount of watches that we're gonna cover, and I'm gonna start shaking the game up a little bit with these videos, and actually incorporating the pictures of the watches when I'm talking about them, just so you can see what I see. But real talk, I mean, if we're talking about it and we look at some of the watches that inspired Maison de Filion, there was a Piaget watch that got nominated. It had a malachite dial. And if you know anything about Maison de Filion, my brand, you'll know that we've got the malachite version of Pistras Chrysocolla. And if you haven't taken a look at Maison de Filion, I suggest that you do. We got something for everybody. But the watches looked very similar. They obviously, have their differences, but they look very similar, and it lets me know that, as a designer, I still got a pretty good eye for what, for what's going to look good and what's going to really translate well onto the wrist. So, again, shout out to Piaget, shout out to, I think she's the CEO, Shabi Nouri. I'm excited to see watches from like JCBV and all that. But just getting beyond the point. I'm excited for the day that we get a black-owned watch brand nominated at GPHG, because I feel like it's coming soon. Whether it's Maison de Filion, whether it's Compass, whether it's Ace Rock, whether it's Benson, whether it's Italian Twine, whether it's Spring Break, whether it's 17th, whether it's there's so many. My gosh, y'all get the point. Sorry, I am drawing a blank on all of y'all names. I know that there's more. Shout out to all of you. Charge it to the head, but not the heart. I love all of you. I think you're all doing incredible, and there's so much space in this lane for all of us. My biggest dream as a black-owned watch brand is to kind of have our own sort of GPHG for black-owned watch brands. And I think that'd be really dope. But yeah, getting back to it. So expect next week, Lord willing, make this video. We're gonna cover the nominees in the different categories, what they mean, what makes them special, how much they cost, maybe a little something about the brands that make them too. So again, I apologize for my absence these past couple of weeks. Honestly, I was probably going to be absent again this week, but you know, as we're trying to build this brand, we're also trying to build our community. So thank y'all for rocking with us. Find your favorite watch and wear it in good health. Find your loved ones and tell them you love them, give them a hug. Pray for us. Pray for us in this season. And yeah, I'm gonna sign off for now. Make sure that you're always living life in celestial motion. Bye, y'all.